Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is January 27th, and today's episode is going to cover RPL price action, crypto markets in general, talking price. We're going to be talking about Jasper's meeting today, or maybe not Jasper, but like the one that he helped set up. After that, we're going to talk about GMC results and news, rETH stuff, NSSO selling, so much more. So let's get started.
10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Okay, so we are going to start here with a new all-time low after the all-time high of RPL, and this was quite unfortunate that we have this now. We've got it'd been a while since we avoided new lows on the price. We actually hit new lows on ETH a few days ago, and we hit new lows on RPL today. But today we also hit new lows on against ETH as well, ETH and USD. So as you can see here on the screen, the values were updated earlier this morning. I think that was pretty much it hasn't gone lower than that since then. Let me just check all time low. Yeah, the prices haven't gone below that point from earlier. In fact, against USD, we bounced back a little bit, like nearly 10% up from there. Against ETH, not so much. Let me check the ratio really quickly. Yeah, just a tiny bit up on the ratio as well since then. And against USD, like maybe 7% up since that low. It's been bad. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Like it's been a really rough time. It's like lots of tokens have gotten breaks except RPL, and it's just kind of bled downwards. Sadly, this new low is in part because of the wider crypto market selling off today, because of the news of the new LLM out of China, DeepSeek, I think, R1, and that's just like kind of sending shockwaves through the stock market in the US and just made everyone super jittery about prices. So a lot of tokens, almost all tokens, got hit smack down earlier today, and some are starting to bounce back now. So yeah, it's been a really tough period for RPL holders, and yeah, it's definitely not looking good. But hopefully, the bottom will be in soon. I have no idea when that will be, obviously. And here, we had Ramana overnight updating the price to new lows on ETH and USDC. So those were getting updated earlier on today because Ramana, of course, is the keeper of the all-time low bot. But yeah, it was quite brutal. Okay, in some news from Jasper, if you want to get your hopes up, this is some interesting news here. And Jasper here a couple of days ago shared a post saying Monday is a crucial day for Rocket Pool. Now, people are just like, wait, what's Jasper talking about? What's going on over here? Well, it looks like basically he said, I will either be very happy or very sad, and you all can extrapolate the rest. And then he said, have you been following what I've been hinting towards? So here there was a screenshot then of, calls are being planned with the red team. And he basically said that World Liberty Finance is, he's been in touch with them. These are all snippets that we've got along the way. And he's been talking to them, and they have agreed to meet with people from the Rocket Pool team. Jasper was supposed to meet with them himself as well, but he actually has an exam for med school at that moment, so he can't meet with them. But what's happened is Jasper was giving us some updates earlier today, saying that basically World Liberty Financial has been accumulating a lot of ETH. A big chunk of that has been staked with Lido. Now that is quite disappointing, obviously, that they're choosing Lido for that. Jasper has been talking to them since before they started staking with Lido, telling them that they should be staking with Rocket Pool. The team are meeting with the people from World Liberty Financial soon, basically, while I'm still recording properly, and they're going to make their pitch to them for why they should, be staking with buying rETH instead. And yeah, that's either going to make Jasper really happy or really sad. He gave some information here. He says we prepared some strong arguments in rETH's favor, and he said that it was him, Langers, and Grant chatted, and Langers was taking notes. Basically then it's going to be Langers and Grant who are meeting with the people from the World Liberty, and they are the ones who are going to be kind of making that pitch for why they should be adding rETH to their portfolio. And hopefully they will listen to that. So that will make Jasper very happy if they listen to that. If they don't listen to that, then that will make Jasper very sad. So yeah, that's kind of where we stand right now. Jasper's been teasing more and more information as the weekend has gone on. So we've got a pretty clear picture of what's actually happening today, and what the outcomes of that might be. Okay, next we've got some GMC news, and this is results from round 20 from the GMC. And as always, Sifrin here says this is scoring has concluded. This is from December 7th to January 7th. It says this post begins a 14-day clock. So if anyone wants to appeal these decisions, they're welcome to do that now. The general updates, the target hours, member target hours are going up to 15 if the PDAO agrees to that. The Sifrin DeFi course is being reviewed by GMC members right now. The GMC is selecting a star overseer. I'm going to be talking about that next. The GMC member compensation system here, there's some talk about a more efficient system and what that might look like. With rETH Incubator, the GMC is helping converting some of the high quality rETH Incubator submissions into actionable items. And then there's a board where you can go and have a look at some of those already. With the roster, there's the roster, like the same as it was last month, maybe. I think a Len of Tower was added instead of looking for owls. And then here we have a breakdown of the applications this month. So there were 4 grant applications, 2 bounty applications, and 3 retroactive award applications. And the total for all of those was $302,000. Yeah, that was the amount requested. Total amounts in the reserve are $557,000. Now here are the overall scores. So Sleety has been approved for token motion subscription. Ken was approved for community call. I was approved for rocket fuel, so you'll get 6 more months of rocket fuel here. Ken was also approved for additional calls. Patches was approved for the rescue node. Patches was approved for just exit my validators. Shifrin was approved for gas reimbursement for the committees. Ramana was approved for fee switch calculator. Cal was approved for gas queue reimbursement, and local agent was declined. So there's detailed reviews here as well. If you have a look, there's some really good detailed commentary here from the GMC, and yeah, just you can read through it all and get an idea of what's going on and what the GMC members thought of each grant. Again, with bounties that need defining, now we've got the fee switch preview calculator and the DAO engagement discussion. All members participated, and there were no amendments during this stage. So here Ramana has some more information about the different things that they're looking for in terms of the calculator and what it might include and what it might not include. So that's really awesome. So thank you for that, Shifrin and the GMC, and thank you for paying out another 6 months of funding for rocket fuel. It means so much to me that the community values this work so highly, and I'm happy to keep doing it as long as they want me to keep doing it forever, basically. Okay, so another piece of news from the GMC here is that, a couple of weeks ago we had this application that came out for overseer of the STAR initiative. I talked about this on Rocket Fuel a whole bunch of times, and we had 3 applicants at the time. The 3 applicants were Dr. Doofus, Signal XU, and Brent, and Shifrin here had an announcement today saying, after a thorough discussion with the GMC, considering 3 very strong candidates, the GMC has chosen to hire Signal XU for the overseer role. The committee was highly impressed with their experience, early research, and demos presented during the interview process. With the foundation of STAR initiative being laid, the GMC encourages the community to get excited and prepare to engage actively in this important project. So this is absolutely awesome stuff. I really like this. I'm really happy with this. Signal XU was a fantastic applicant, so I'm really looking forward to starting work with Signal XU on the STAR initiative and pushing all that forward. Okay, we got an update from Halulo here for the on-chain quorum initialization POAP. So this we talked about 3 weeks ago with Halulo, raising funds to get all the votes initialized and trying to reconcile the voting for on-chain and off-chain voting for the quorum amounts. So that was all done with these transactions and stuff. And then he explained that basically, since that was all done, there was a sentiment poll that was added to this thread. So here, it says the RPIP 64 sentiment poll. Like, do you agree? Do you support moving this to vote? This is great. 67% of people said yes. They said good enough. 33% of people said that. So 15 votes, 100% of those people are happy with it going to vote. So it looks like we will be voting on this soon, which is, of course, really exciting. Okay, let's go back to the Discord here, and we've got an update with NSSO. And NSSO were those people who minted 18,000 rETH in one go, but then very quickly started selling it on the open market, kind of causing issues with the peg. And then they eventually ended up staking around 8,000 of that into Eigenlayer, restaking it, I should say. Well, that was a week ago. So Halulo here says that NSSO withdrew the rETH from Eigenlayer and it's selling that rETH again. Valdorf replied by saying that's the most annoying mint in history. Halulo said they could have waited at least for a lower discount. Halulo said, I don't get this. Why did they restake for 1 week just to come back to roughly the same discount? So, if they sell 300 ETH per day like they were selling before, then just 12 mini pool exits will balance that out and keep the peg at the place it was. Now this is a really funny piece of information here. So Hulu says, I want to know how much they made. They deposited exactly 7,900 rETH into Eigenlayer, and this is the amount they withdrew: 7,900 and 0.00000000000000008 rETH. What basically happened is they deposited the rETH into Eigenlayer, and then within 10 minutes they requested to have it withdrawn. 9 minutes later they requested to have it withdrawn, and that's why they were able to, and then there's a 7-day cooldown period with Eigenlayer staking. So they deposited it and then they wanted to withdraw it pretty much right away, but they were stuck for 9 days, and now they are going to start selling again. So yeah, I don't know what these guys are doing, but like it's a bit of a joke. But Hulu said maybe they had the genius idea that requesting an Eigenlayer withdrawal would give them ETH instead of rETH, just to get around rETH not having any ETH available for them. But yeah. Anyway, just as we were slowly getting the peg back a little bit better, slowly improving it, it might take a little bit longer to get it back to peg than we were hoping. Okay, we've already talked about that. Okay, so on the other things that will help us get back to peg, here we have news from Twitter, and this is news of some really cool incentives for our ETH. And so Contango here says the second batch of OP tokens, their rewards on compound markets have just started. Some of the highlights here are this campaign will last from January 27th to February 17th. So here people will get 36,000 OP tokens that will go to 4 yield-bearing assets in different proportions. So incentivized instruments also will get 3 times Contango points. And one of those pools that is going to be getting a whole lot of tokens is the rETH pair. And some of the rewards there are looking quite juicy for that. So that is really, really awesome. Here they talk about rETH. They say that this pair will earn 16,500 OP tokens during the 3 weeks. They'll also earn 320 RPL tokens during 3 weeks. Also will earn 3 times Contango points and earn comp too. So that is really awesome. The max return on investment here is 120%. If you want to play those games like with leverage, please be careful of those games. And then we have news of some other incentives here, and this one's from High. So High is saying new collaboration with Beefy Finance just dropped, bringing us an auto compounding vault for our High rETH rocket pool liquidity position. We're incentivizing on Velodrome. Deposit your LP or zap any asset directly into the vault to start earning that juicy yield on auto drive. So here they've got information about High and what it's looking like, how much TVL they've got. They've got 4,300 $300. And the really cool part here is this beefy saying that you will get up to 100% APY if you provide liquidity in this pool. Of course, those numbers are likely to go down as more and more people join the pool, but that is absolutely awesome that that there's such good yield available for people there. Okay, so one of the things that we're doing in the community is, people are exiting their validators to arb the exit, and then try to, arb the exit for themselves, and then help the peg go back to where it's supposed to be. Help the rETH price go back to peg, I should be saying. Ramana here was trying to fight Jared. So Jared from Subway is a very famous MEV sandwich attacker on Ethereum. It's a bot, a trading tool that kind of sees where the opportunities are and kind of takes them. So Jared has been feasting on the deposit pool and been burning rETH for keeping the yield for himself. Anyway, what's happened is that Ramana's tried to fight with Jared, and he says, "Watch me fight Jared." And there's a little thing here saying Ramana burned 0.018 rETH for 0.02 ETH. And Jasper said, "Wow, that's honestly impressive. If you can get a burn in before Jared." And he said, I didn't think it could be done." And then we actually got some more details here. Ramana actually took out one of his own validators and was just doing an exit arb. So Val says, you got $1,200 for that, which is pretty cool, but that's just an exit arb, not a Jared compete. And then it turns out the reason why Ramana was able to beat Jared on that one burn was that he actually lost money. So I spent $6.20 to make 47 cents of profit. So that's why Jared didn't fight for that, because it was a losing bet, and Ramana didn't look that closely and was able to outcompete Jared for losing $5.73. So good job, Ramana, on that one. Okay, let's move to some staking news now. And the big staking news of the day is from, there's a lot of staking news actually. One of the big pieces of the day is here from Fabda, who had this idea of a new IP that would bump the hardware requirements for staking with Ethereum nodes. And this proposal is 2 to 4 times the requirements from the merge. So that was, 2.5 years ago, pretty much. And here, Fabda says that the RAM requirement should go from a minimum of 16 gigabytes to 64 gigabytes. CPU should go from 4 cores to 8 cores, and storage should go from 1 terabyte to 4 terabytes. So a straightforward push to help scale L1. Now, this suggestion had some really interesting responses. And part of that was about the bandwidth part of it, about the speed of the bandwidth required being more of a bottleneck than the hardware requirement. And Fabda says the global average download for broadband is 92 megabits per second. The global average upload is 43 megabits per second. So he says the global average download for mobile is 50 megabits and upload is 11 megabits. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. But I think that a lot of people, as NSSO showed last week in one of her documents that she released, is there are a lot of places in the world, including places like New York and Los Angeles, that their internet is much worse than those amounts on average, and that would really impact the staking services. So Jasper actually replied to this by saying that the bandwidth requirements would be quite high, and there would be an impact on solo stakers here. I do like the idea of asking people to increase their requirements, every few years. But it will just you're asking people to potentially pay, some thousands of dollars, or at least, many hundreds of dollars. And for people who have only one mini pool, for example, or people who have only one solo validator, it could really start eating into their cost benefit analysis. It would absolutely make people who are using DVT or Lido CSM, with the lower requirements, it would make them not profitable at all, because by the time that they paid back their hardware costs. They'd have to buy new hardware all over again. So staking would become an altruistic endeavor, and relying on altruism from people to do that is, I think, a losing strategy. So yeah, there's definitely this is going to be a long conversation, and I hope that it's gonna not cause too much impact on the community. Okay, to find out what kind of requirements you have, we talked about Eth Pando OS last week on Rocket Fuel. Well, they have a new contributor installer that makes it easier for you to get the information to them. With directions how to do it now, they have Rocket Pool directions. So you install some software, and you during the setup, you change the data so you can send data to the Eth Pando OS people, and then they can start seeing your data. I did see something here about like the script having access to certain piece of information on your node that you might not want them to. Definitely, check into support, Rocket Pool support, if you are wondering whether to use this or not, and what the limitations of it will be, or what the permissions will be. And before you just go and run the script. I'm not saying there's anything bad with the people from Eth Pando OS, but it might be that you might be sharing stuff that you don't want to share. So definitely make sure that you know what you're installing on your node machine, and take many precautions before you do anything. Okay, let's move on to some Ethereum news now. The big Ethereum news of the day is that we now have this idea of MicroStrategy selling bonds and using that to buy BTC. It looks like people were wondering if anyone would do that with Ethereum, and people were telling ConsenSys to do this, like go onto the market and IPO, and then sell bonds to buy ETH, and then just do that over and over again, kind of copying the exact trade that MicroStrategy are doing. Well, one day we had none of this on Ethereum, and now we've got 3 different groups doing the same thing. So here, Joseph.eth says, over the last 3 days, I built Eth Strategy with Justin. It's fully on-chain, fully open source, and it's like MicroStrategy basically, but on-chain and open source. And it launches next week, so they're looking for no risk capital pre-commitments. So this was from the 25th, and here Joseph then gave an update saying that the whitelist is now closed. They received 40,000 ETH in pre-commitments and are well over the 10,000 ETH cap. It says please make sure to turn on notifications for Eth Strategy, as deposits will be honored on a first come first served basis. Deposits will open tomorrow. So that's an update from yesterday. So it looks like the deposits should be open now. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so they said that the level of enthusiasm being overwhelming. They're working to increase accessibility, and they want to follow exact details how to deposit. Keep your alerts on, because like I said, it'll be first come first serve. So this is Eth Strategy. It's really funny because there's another protocol that launched with the exact same name of Eth Strategy, and then it looks like there's a third protocol as well that will be doing this. As I get more information and as I get details of how they're doing, I'll definitely share that with you all, because it's pretty exciting. Okay, and then here Jag is the one who said, replying to toast.eth, saying retweeting, and quote tweeting toast.eth. So Toast says, somehow suddenly there's 2 MicroStrategy projects for Ethereum that are completely unrelated to each other, both of them called Eth Strategy and Joseph DeLong. Don't think he has a Twitter for the project yet. So here there's Eth Strategy, Eth_strategy, and the other one that we were just looking at is Eth Strategy, one word. So yeah, they both have the same name, and they're both going to be doing the same thing. So it's permissionless on-chain protocol, reimagining MicroStrategy's approach. And then here's Joseph as well. Jag says new hot narrative has dropped, but DC investors saying this is the most Ethereum thing I've ever seen in my life. And Vivek from Etherealize says this is client diversity. And we're going to enter this episode with some other news. And this is James Safar saying that BlackRock and iShares have filed for in-kind redemption for their Bitcoin ETF. So what that means is that will allow you to deposit Bitcoin into their ETF, and they will also allow you to withdraw BTC instead of depositing cash to buy BTC and then withdrawing cash as they sell BTC. So this is actually really cool. James Safar says, to be clear, individuals won't be able to do in-kind creations and redemptions. Only the authorized participants will be able to do this. And people were asking a lot of questions. So I think it's only a matter of time before the Ethereum ETFs get this feature as well. I think it might even be bundled in with the this was just like a text of the proposed rule change, so it's not restarting a new ETF. It's just asking for a rule change. So I think for Ethereum, it'll likely be that staking and in-kind redemptions might just get put into one application, and then the SEC will be able to approve those, and hopefully it'll go really well. But on that note, I'm going to end today's episode. So thank you all for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. I hope you all had a lovely weekend, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.